that situation. Louie Gohmert is here of that fine state. Congressman, you were very patient throughout all of this. I do want to touch on the ISIS situation first, by the way. So there's some confusion when the president refers to ISIS or ISIL or the Islamic State of Iraq or the Levant, which seems to be the popular way to refer to the ISIS threat now. Bottom line, they're just bad guys, and bottom line is the president has said we don't have a strategy right now. Do you buy that?
No, I agree. He has never had a good strategy. And I don't want people to lose sight of the fact when we're talking about ISIS, ISIL, the rebels in Syria, the rebels in Iraq. When people say he should have bombed, he was going to bomb Assad a year ago. If he had done what he said he was going to do,
that was a year ago this weekend.
That was a year ago. Then ISIS would have already taken over all of Syria. If he had done in Syria as he did in Libya. Now, Gaddafi was a bad guy, but since 2003...
What are you saying? If he had bombed then, a year ago now when he had that opportunity?
ISIS would have Syria, basically. I mean, the rebels would have had Syria.
So what does he do now?
Well, you bomb the bad guys. And that is ISIS. It's the radical Islamists. It's always been. He saw it a few years ago as being an Arab Spring. It was radical Islam, and he kept choosing to help radical Islam.
So let me ask you this. Let me be clear. Then if the president decides to act unilaterally and go ahead.
He won't have to. He'll have plenty of members of Congress that will support him.
You would back him on that?
You betcha. I think a lot of us would be willing to have a declaration of war against radical Islam, including Al-Qaeda, ISIS, ISIL, all of these splinter groups, the ones in Libya. We can name them, and I don't think a lot of us would have.
So we know more now than we did a year ago.
Well, some of us knew. Last year we were going, you're helping, just like we did in Libya, you're going to help the radical Islamists take over. Assad's not a good guy, but at least he has not been persecuting Christians and Jews and mistreating people the way the radical Islamists.
So he's the lesser of our evils.
Yes, just like Mubarak was, just like Gaddafi was after 2003 only, after we went into Iraq. But he has consistently chosen, with whatever ridiculous advice he's been getting, to choose the side of the radical Islamists.
But you think now, Congressman,
I understand.
You think now if he acted to deal with ISIS in Syria, in Iraq, wherever this expands, you would be for it, and you think Republicans would support him?
As long as he's going after the radical Islamists and not the Assad administration.
General Bob Scales, if you're still there, my friend, I don't know if you are.
Hi,
what
Neil,
do you think of that, and that the president would act, and maybe with the folks like the congressman's blessing, to expand this campaign?
Well, I think the congressman is right. The president can talk about diplomatic, political, and economic and coalition approaches to the ISIS problem. But here's the thing, Neil. ISIS is overwhelmingly a military problem. It is a military challenge to the West, not diplomatic or political. And he's exactly right. And nowhere in the president's speech did he talk about offensive military options, only defensive military options to protect embassies and to protect and to use for humanitarian purposes. The bottom line is this: ISIS can't be defeated unless we or someone kills them. That's it.
Right.
ISIS doesn't care about anything else. They want to establish a caliphate over the bodies of the unbelievers, and the way you get rid of them is to kill them, not to deal with them, Neil.
That's right.
General, thank you. Congressman, to you on this illegal immigration, if I could follow. Because the president has indicated that he's still weighing all his options, blaming the House for not acting, when in fact you guys did submit a bill.
We did, and actually we were going to spend a lot more money before the end of the fiscal year than the president even asked for.
Well, it's a moot point now. It's a moot point now.
No,
he didn't do it.
He could get the Senate back and pass our bill
if he were to act on this unilateral action to go ahead and, by executive order, grant amnesty to upwards of 5 million illegals here, is that an impeachable offense to you?
I don't think he will. I think it's strictly...
If he were.
I don't think I just
Congressman
can't imagine him do
seems to think he's going to do it.
I know he does, but look, here in the last 2 days, they've gotten progress in what I would call going the wrong direction. But
is that an illegal move, Congressman? If he does that, is that an illegal move?
That is an illegal move. Yes, it is. And but on ISIS, let's don't lose sight of the fact that this president's been wrong every time.
We're going to take a break here. We'll have a